All right, we are connected. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the month of March. I hope that this month has already been off to a great start for you. It seems like time is just flying by. And I wanted to share a little different practice today. So we'll still do our mindfulness meditation and checking in. And then I'd love to share a tapping technique with you. And this has been really helpful for me with calming down my nerves or relieving anxiety and just bringing a more somatic experience into nervous system regulation. So if you're not familiar with the tapping technique, it's really simple, but it can be really powerful in shifting the way that you feel. And I use the emotional freedom tapping technique, which combines tapping different pressure points in a specific sequence and affirming affirmations. So the first step is to become aware of the anxious feeling or whatever, unpleasant feeling that you're experiencing. And then from there is welcoming what you want to feel through those affirmations. And then the third round is simply to focus on the sensation of tapping and to notice any subtle shift that may be happening for you. So we'll start with a little mindfulness technique and then go into that tapping. And I'll guide you through all of it, of course. So first thing is to get comfortable wherever you're at. For the tapping part, it will probably be best to be seated, but you can also do it lying down if that's more comfortable for you. And just taking a moment to check in with the body and how you're feeling. If it feels safe to do so, you can close the eyes or just soften your gaze. Begin to activate all of your senses through mindful awareness. Remembering that the practice of mindfulness is simply the practice of paying attention through the lens of loving awareness. Letting go of any and all judgment and expectation for how you think life or anything should be, and really just accepting the moment and yourself and others as they are. Notice the body and your alignment. Notice any thoughts or feelings that may be present. Notice the flow of the breath. And getting curious as you observe these things. See if you can welcome a little bit of relaxation into the physical body. If you're seated, allowing yourself to sit tall without becoming rigid. And if you're lying down, see if you can let the whole weight of your body soften into the surface beneath you. Allow the breath to be unhurried and steadied. And if you'd like, you can take a moment to bring to mind a personal intention for this meditation practice. Just thinking about and reflecting on anything that you'd like to receive, or maybe something to let go of. Bringing that intention into your mind's eye as you visualize and affirm it. And then we'll seal in this intention, taking 3 cleansing breaths together. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and audibly out the mouth. Again, breathing in through the nose and out the mouth. One more time, deep breath in and a slow breath out. Then allow your breath to return to normal. And then take a mental note of how you are feeling in this moment. And also noting what shift you would like to experience, if any. And this could be a physical shift, feeling more relaxed into the body. This could be a mental shift, maybe moving through some difficult emotions and welcoming a more empowered mindset. Maybe it's an energetic shift. And maybe you feel content as you are, and that's okay too. So this tapping practice can be done as a way to invite those shifts within ourselves. And it can also be a way simply to maintain our current energy. You're welcome to keep your eyes closed through this practice if you'd like, or if you have any if you need clarity with where the specific points are, you can always look at the screen where I'm tapping. So again, noting how you're feeling now, noting any shifts that you'd like to experience. And then you'll take the first 2 fingers of your dominant hand and we'll begin tapping the first point, which is known as the karate chop. So it's the outer edge of your hand near your pinky, and that fleshy part of your hand. And taking those 2 fingers on your dominant hand, and you'll tap that karate chop point. And when you're tapping, you can tap at any comfortable pace or pressure. You want it to be firm enough that you feel the sensation of tapping, but not too firm where it feels uncomfortable. Of course, this is a loving practice. And the speed of the tapping, you can go slow or faster, maybe a medium pace. And then you can affirm to yourself. I'll use the example of anxiety, but you can put any word or customize the affirmation to suit you. So if I were feeling anxiety, I might say something like, although I am feeling anxious right now, I know that my body is trying to protect me. And we'll say that 2 more times at this point, or whatever phrase that you want to work with. But first, identifying the uncomfortable emotion, but adding some compassion into that statement. Even though I'm feeling anxious right now, I know my body and mind are trying to protect me. Even though I'm feeling anxious right now, I know my body and mind are trying to protect me. Then the second point is between the eyebrows and slightly raised. And affirming again, recognizing the uncomfortable feeling and maybe offering a loving perspective to it. I am feeling anxious right now, and I know that that's okay. I'm feeling anxious right now, and I know that that's okay. I am feeling anxious right now, and I know that that's okay. Then moving to the temple. Maybe affirming something like, I feel really anxious, but I know that it will pass. I feel really anxious, but I know that this will pass. I feel really anxious, but I know that this will pass. I'm moving to the cheekbone right under the eye. I'm feeling anxious and grateful for self-awareness. I'm feeling anxious and grateful for self-awareness. I'm feeling anxious and grateful for self-awareness. Under the nose. I feel anxious right now, but I know I can move through it. I can do hard things. I'm feeling anxious right now, but I can move through it and do hard things. I'm feeling anxious right now, but I can move through it and do hard things. Then moving to the chin. I feel anxious, but I know that I'm capable. I feel anxious, but I know that I'm capable. I feel anxious, but I know that I'm capable. And the final point is at the top of the head. I'm feeling really anxious, but I'm not alone. I feel really anxious, but I know I'm not alone. I feel anxious, but I am not alone. Then go ahead and rest your hand for a second, releasing the tapping and taking a moment to notice how you feel after the first round. So we'll go through that tapping sequence again, and this time affirming the feelings that you want to cultivate and feel more of, and affirming in the present tense as if you were already experiencing it. So the first point again is the karate chop on the side of the hand. I am choosing to feel more at peace. I am choosing to feel more at peace. I am choosing to feel more at peace. Forehead. I am at ease. I am at ease. I am at ease. Temple. I believe anything is possible. I believe anything is possible. I believe anything is possible. Under the eye. I am doing my best. I am doing my best. I am doing my best. Under the nose. I deserve to feel good. I deserve to feel good. I deserve to feel good. The chin. I am feeling more relaxed now. I am feeling more relaxed now. I am feeling more relaxed now. And top of the head. I am grateful. I am grateful. I am grateful. Releasing the hand for a moment, and again checking in. Notice how you feel after the second round. And then for the third round, we'll simply be focusing on the sensation of tapping. This can be done with the eyes open or closed, and just focusing on, again, the sensation of the tapping itself, the pace, the pressure, the rhythm of the tapping. Notice which points feel really soothing and comfortable, and also notice which points may feel maybe tender or rigid. And just be aware. So again, the first point is the edge of the hand. The forehead. The temple. Under the eye. Under the nose. The chin. and the top of the head. And then releasing the tapping once again. Checking in, notice how you feel. Notice any subtle shifts that may have happened within the body, the mind, the breath, or your energy. And even if you didn't experience a shift this time, know that that's okay. Some people feel a shift and a change really quickly, sometimes even after just one round. And others may need to repeat that process a few times, especially if it's new. So sometimes 3 rounds of doing it 3 times like we just did, that might be a good place to start. And even if it's something that you're familiar with, if you're just going through a really tough time and it's hard to kind of settle down, then just repeating it as often as you need until you feel that relief. And it's also fine to just choose one point. If you are, sorry, I may have got disconnected. I don't know, my computer just did something weird, but hopefully we're still connected. I was saying that, so sometimes like just choosing one of those points in that sequence can be helpful, or a totally different spot. It could be intuitive. One of my favorites is all fingertips on the collarbones. That's a really, really soothing one. So for me, when I'm feeling specifically anxiety, and also a little bit of like sadness, those two for me have similar sensations. And so anxiety specifically for me is a tightening in my chest, where sadness is like a heaviness in my chest, but it's still the same area and a similar sensation. So for me, when I'm feeling those two emotions, I will take my fingers and tap on the collarbone, which helps me to breathe a little bit deeper and just bring more awareness to that space and allow those heavy emotions to move through my body and to ultimately release or transmute into something that feels better. But as with everything, practice and patience is key, and of course consistency. I read something really eye-opening the other day, which I've heard before, but it was a really great reminder of that it's so important for us to practice our self-care and these techniques that work for us when we're feeling good, because it gives us more momentum into the times when we're not feeling good. And those are the times when it's hardest to practice. But if we have that habit built, and we have that momentum going, it's a lot easier to stay committed to these practices that are helpful when we need them the most. So that was a great reminder for me, because I'm moving through some storms myself, and especially as a single mom, it's easy for me to make excuses not to practice the things that help me so much. But I know that that's when I need them the most. And with the work that I do, it's really, really important for me to continue practicing what I teach and to serve as a living like testimony to the power of these practices, because they do work. So I hope that was helpful, and you can take that with you and practice it whenever you need it. I hope that you have a great rest of your Monday, and I will see you next month. as always, feel free to reach out with any questions or anything that you'd like to share as well. Have a good day.